All right, just so everybody knows, we are recording this and we will allow you to share it after we're done. So thank you all for coming and welcome to Bamboo Solutions. I'm Rob Manfredi, I'm the owner of Bamboo, and we are super excited about the release of our new product, Security Audit Plus. Today's the day we go live, and it is one of our first products that is in the security and compliance space. As a services company, we've been spending a lot of time migrating customers into GCC and GCC high environments and really focusing on security issues that our customers see. So we found a niche for a product that could help everyone become more compliant with security rules and also identify risks before they happen within your Microsoft 365 tenant. So by way of background, let's just do a little bit on Bamboo. So we are a provider of enterprise class software and applications that run within SharePoint and Teams. We've got over 8,000 customers worldwide, and I've been developing products for SharePoint for many, many years. We're a smaller company. We've got about 40 business consultants. We've been around for 10 years. And it's really our experience in developing these products that sets us apart from other product providers. So let's take a look at an overview of Security Audit Plus. So our goal is to provide a single pane of glass from different areas within your Microsoft 365 tenant into a single product and create some actionable intelligence. So Security Audit Plus sits in the middle, it runs in SharePoint, but it is communicating with your Azure Active Directory. It's looking at the analytics within SharePoint. It's grabbing information from the Microsoft Compliance Center, and it's also using Azure Identity Services. And we bring this information together into a single area that alerts you to things that we're seeing in certain security issues that may be coming up within your environment. So it's all about, for us, risk mitigation, right? So this single pane of glass allows you to gather information from one location versus going out to many different locations and having to interpret that information that is provided to you by Microsoft. We're helping you manage risks by taking that information and making it searchable, filterable, exportable, so that you can slice and dice that data the way you see fit. We're also interpreting that data with corrective actions so that we can make recommendations on what you can do to mitigate risk issues that we're seeing within your tenant. And this product actually runs in your tenant. So we're not granted access from Bamboo to your tenant. It's installed within SharePoint, and then it requests access to these different services within your tenant. But all of the information is contained within SharePoint, within your tenant, and not transmitted at all back to Bamboo. So the main components of the first release of Security Audit Plus is some user reports. The first is an external user list. This allows you to see who has access to your SharePoint sites that is outside of your organization. Inactive users, which actually could be a cost savings because we can see what users are licensed but have not been accessing the system for over 30 days. And when we're also seeing unlicensed users, so these are users that used to have a license that no longer have a license assigned to them, but are still within your tenant. Some people. Risk events is using the Compliance Center to take a look at different risk events. We're going to get into details on what risk events we're tracking that have happened within your Microsoft 365 tenant, and then some security metrics, right? Which are you compliant with best practices from Microsoft? So let's take a look at some risk events. That we're tracking. So right now we're looking at suspicious logins to your tenant that is coming from different areas or different locations. Anybody that has an anonymized IP address that has tried to log into your tenant. Suspicious IP addresses, including malware-infected IP addresses. We're looking at suspicious inbox manipulation rules. So looking at Active Directory and saying, is a lot of mail forwarding happening, or other rules that could be risky within your environment. We're also tracking leaked credentials. So this is information gathered and presented from Microsoft Identity Management for passwords that may be out on the internet, or unfamiliar IP addresses. This is a new IP address that's logging into your system. And again, we're tracking those within that report. What we're adding this summer is, and the direction we're taking Security Audit Plus, is we're moving into device compliance. So what risks are within the devices that are attached to Microsoft 365? We're tracking large file or data downloads. So if we're seeing suspicious activity of large amounts of data being downloaded by a user, or setting thresholds for maximum number of downloads for a user and tracking those. We're also going to be looking at site analytics across all of your site collections so that you can track usage and user activity. We're going to look at service health. We're going to start doing some more charting on these risk events so that you can see in a more visual way the events that are happening and what time, and also reviewing access, who has access to what and who is accessing what within there. So while we're starting with some really informative reports, this summer we're investing more into broadening the scope. Of course, while you're on maintenance, all of this is included with your upgrades and new versions of the product. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the product page and how to find it. We're also going to look at the pricing, how you can access a free demo copy of it, what that entails, and then we'll actually see a demo of the product. So let me pull over our web page. So here at bamboosolutions.com, under the product section, all the blue products are for SharePoint Online or Office 365. All of the green ones are our legacy products for on-prem SharePoint. Simply by clicking on View All Products or View More, you'll get a list of all the products. We have some 25 products now that exist in SharePoint Online that are all available for free trial. Our method for selling software in Office 365 is to stay away from subscriptions or per user per month pricing. What we have is a perpetual license that's licensed at the tenant level, which means you can use any of our products across your tenant for as many users as you have in Office 365. A couple new products that we've recently released and updated is Alerts Plus. Another amazing product is List Rollup that allows you to aggregate data from different site collections or directories or documents. But what we're focusing on today is Security Audit Plus. The actual product page gives you a nice overview of features and some sample reports. But also this try buy button will allow you to access the free trial. The free trial is download. It will just give you limited data, but it is the actual working product. And there is no credit card required. So you don't need to like cancel a purchase after the trial. So for 30 days, you can take a look at what information it's gathering across your tenant. And then simply purchasing the product. First year is just under $5,000. Second year is 22% of that for maintenance. You'll have access to all of the reports within the product with full data. I'm not sure if my try buy button has been working. Oh, it's working now. Awesome. Yay for the launch. So again, here's your trial. And then if you want to purchase it, there's your production license for $49.95. If you've got a non-production tenant that you want to try it on, those are half price. Sometimes people have second tenants that are not in production. Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look at the actual product. So it runs in a SharePoint Modern environment. So you simply add it to one of your pages, and it's the client side presents itself in a way that allows you to get to each of the reports. What we're going to start with is the user reports and our external users. And essentially what this is giving you is a list of all external users that have access to your site and their last sign-in date. These are all sortable, so that you can sort them by clicking on each of the columns. You can also search, and all of the reports are exportable to a CSV. So if I open that up, I get a full list of all of my users that have external access to our system. Same thing for inactive users. What we can take a look at is all the users that are currently licensed that have not accessed the system. And of course, that is sortable as well, to where they've never signed in or where they've signed in over a month ago. So this is 3/7 is the last time Marco signed in, but is still licensed within our system. Unlicensed users are users that still have accounts but no longer have a license associated with them. Hopefully we won't see any sign-ins on that. But again, another useful report to make sure that you have everything where you want it. The three reports down below are a little more meaningful in terms of looking at risk events, your security metrics, and auditing your Active Directory events that have happened that may be risky. So let's go into risk events. And essentially, this is going out and taking a look at all the different risk events that we went through, anonymized IP, locations, and things like that. And as the activity begins to accumulate, we do allow you to start filtering against that activity. So it will only show the activities that are for your tenant. So in our case here at Bamboo, all we've got is sign-in activity. And then we've got low and medium, right? But based on the data within the report. And you can also choose a date range. So if you only want to see the last month's worth of data or the last 2 months worth of data, you can do that. We apply the filters, and we can see that there has been some logins from different areas that we did not expect, people on vacation perhaps, or somebody trying to log in with somebody's username and password from a different area. Again, you can take a look at that and see if it is suspicious or not, but at least the data is now within your fingertips. On security, let's go to AD Audit Logs. So this is information that's happening within Active Directory that is suspicious and is being recorded. So what we're seeing here is a list of information. This caught our eye that there was an external user from Polar Design that was redeeming an external user invite. They updated the user, they did a password reset, as well as this user here, which is an internal user. And we confirmed that this was a partner that is been added to Teams, that is working on a project with our consulting team and getting status updates through Teams. So we were able to see that, check it, and make sure that everything is on the up and up. Security metrics is using Compliance Manager to take a look at how your Microsoft 365 tenant is configured and is it meeting best practices from Microsoft. So in this case, we're going to look at scores based on our configuration against a whole series of items that need to be configured. So for example, this TLS depreciation is a big one within organizations to make sure that the TLS that you review all your clients to check which ones are using this TLS 1.0 or 1.1 and 3DES to communicate with Office 365. The goal is to upgrade the clients to move away from using weaker protocols and Cypher. And what we're seeing here is that none of our customers are connecting with that. This is an interesting one in terms of number of users that are using MFA. We're very low on that score, but 39 out of 217 users are registered. Actually, that's the number of employees we have. So we probably have a lot of users that are not our users that don't have MFA. They could be service accounts. But when we look at this, we do see that 39 of those 217 users, which are primarily our employees, are all using MFA. There is things in here that have to do with not everybody having super admin rights. Safe links for email,